everyone. Welcome back to Going Off Leash. I'm Heather.
And I'm Leslie.
We're here at the Watering Bull in Austin, Texas, ready to talk to you about all things dog park, including how to be a good dog parent, things about business, things about community.
And if you think your dog is judging you for watching a podcast instead of throwing the ball for them, you're probably right.
All right, let's kick this off. We're going to start with the hair of the dog.
Hair of the dog. I need a hair of the dog. I need a hair of the dog.
Today, I'm drinking Violet, a blueberry blonde by High Sign Brewing. This beer has been in our case since day one, and it's probably my favorite beer in the case still.
Almost 5 years later, and it's still going strong.
It is. We love High Sign. They're local.
They love dogs.
Got a little foamy. That's probably my fault.
Chug, chug. What's that?
It's still delicious. It's refreshing. It's light. It's a blonde, but it has that little hint of blueberry flavor to keep it a little more interesting than just a regular blonde. So.
And you know, I will say anytime that a customer tries that for the first time, my response is, I'm not a huge fruited beer person because for me, I want to taste the beer and the fruit, but a lot of fruited beers for me, I taste more fruit than beer. And it's just my personal flavor palette. It doesn't really vibe with me, but the Violet I love because you get such a good solid blonde to start. And then it just finishes with a little hint of blueberry at the end, which for me, I think is perfectly balanced.
I like it.
It's good.
It's also cute. Little blueberries.
Yeah. And one of their beers has a dog on it, so
it does.
Of course we're going to carry them.
The Alberto.
So I'm drinking Secret Beach from Meanwhile today. It is a very solid IPA. For anybody that comes to our dog park regularly, we had been carrying the Tender Robot Hazy IPA, which is one of their more popular ones, and it's a solid hazy IPA. But since we have also been carrying that for so long, we decided to switch things up a little bit and carry the Secret Beach, which is also one of their more popular IPAs. It's actually an award winner.
Yes.
And I can attest it is very good.
Meanwhile does IPAs so well. It's also a fun place to go. We like Meanwhile. I've never seen a place host more children's birthday parties in my life, other than Chuck E. Cheese.
A brewery that hosts all the kids' birthday. But yeah, they have a soccer field. Now they have a sand volleyball court.
They do. I saw that last time I went out there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, they got a lot of good stuff going on. So cheers, hair of the dog. And I don't know if you noticed, we're sitting in front of our beautiful case today. Just to remind you that we are a bar. We love your dogs. We are a dog park first and foremost. Yeah. Dog safety, number one. Beer, number two.
Mm-hmm. Beer and dogs. There's no better combination.
Cheers.
Cheers. I am crushing on this beautiful girl.
Lapdog extraordinaire Bix. Bix.
I don't know if she's super comfortable on the lap, but
probably not.
Girl loves her some snuggles, though.
We love this Bixie baby.
So she's been coming for close to 2 years now. And it was so funny. Her mom had taken her to a different dog park and bar and liked it, but there was something about the vibe. She wanted to check out another one, see what vibed the best with Bix as her tail wags. And funny story about her, she's the sweetest thing ever. She can be a little bit shy if it's too busy, but there was one morning that her and her mom came up here, and I was doing something on the patio. I think maybe like turning on the fans or just cleaning up in general, something. And there was a really good song on. It was like one of those you kind of like to dance to a little bit. So I started doing this, like dancing with Bix, and she looked at me funny and she was like, I don't know what, you know what? I'm gonna dance too. And she jumped up and she started dancing with me. And that was the first like bonding moment, I think, between she and I.
You had a moment.
Yeah. And that was before I started pet sitting her. She just knew me at the dog park. And I was like, come on, let's dance, Bix. And she danced with me. And I was like,
I love Bix. Bix usually comes in the morning with her mom. She always gives me a cute face every time I see her.
She has very human eyes.
She does.
She does.
She does. Bix, are you part human?
She
said yes.
So speaking of humans.
Yes.
So
Bix
Bix is
news.
with me right now. I'm watching her for a week. because she has a brand new human sister, her first human sibling. So congrats to mom, congrats Lundy. And so she has yet to meet her new baby sister Evie, but I have no doubt she's gonna be such a good sister. But speaking of human children, we're just gonna drop this here and leave it because we're not ready to share more details, but we are working on something, including being more family friendly for the children to be able to see the dogs playing.
This will not take away from your adult only experiences.
Nope.
It is something additional.
Children will not be allowed in the dog park, the off leash area. Sorry. Let's be clear. And for anybody watching this that wonders why, we do get a lot of questions from people trying to bring their kids in and like, oh, well, this other bar down the street is kid friendly. The big difference that we try to help parents understand, the big difference is all the dogs here are off leash and uncontrolled. And I don't mean uncontrolled by like bad, just they're not on leash. So what we're working on is a way to integrate safely where it's a little bit more, it's separate, but it's still a little more integrated so that
Yeah.
families can come and you don't have to stop coming just because you have your first child.
I feel like we've had that happen a lot.
Yeah, and I'm happy for all of them that have
course.
had kids. Like that's an amazing thing. It's just also like sad for us because then we don't get to see the dogs as much. So we're working on figuring out a way to make that a little better.
Stay tuned. Is a brand new segment to the podcast called Standing on Business. So we're going to talk to you a little bit about the business side of things. So we talked to you a lot about dogs, but at the end of the day, we deal with a lot of things that have nothing to do with dogs. They have everything to do with customers sometimes, the humans. And today we're going to talk about bad reviews. So the internet has created reviews that anyone and everyone can add to. And I'll tell you, it takes a little bit of learning the right way to respond and read these reviews. You could have 400 amazing reviews and you get that one random 1-star review with no context, nothing on it, usually a brand new profile. And then that one just lives in your head rent free.
Yep.
So Leslie, tell me your number one rule about when we get a bad review.
Do not respond immediately.
You see this red hair? She can get feisty, but she knows when to take a beat.
Yes. People come in for the first time and like, this is an amazing idea. This makes so much sense. And it might seem easy to run, but the concepts that we have, because we have staff watching the dogs that aren't making bartender wages, like our labor is a lot higher. You know, we both care so much and we're so hard. So when we get a bad review, especially an unhinged one, it's hard. It's very hard. We don't have financial backing.
You're looking at 'em.
All the money is here.
It's here.
So it can be really hard when we get a bad review, especially one that feels very unfair.
I'll tell you my favorite one. My favorite one was when we were called racist to a dog because we required the dog to be fixed.
She was not spayed. And granted, this one's still this was an early one.
This was a
very,
long time ago and
Yeah.
it still lives there.
it was a very early bad review. To say that we're being racist against his dog was, I think we laughed
That one
and
took us
cried
back.
a little bit.
That one took us back.
Yeah. So over the course of the years, there's been some unhinged ones. We have learned to respond in a way that like we want to be professional and not be rude or condescending, even to the unhinged reviews. But part of me is also like, we have worked so hard that anyone reading these reviews, I want them to see the reply that we're professional, but also like we're gonna call a little bit of the BS out. Like the most recent bad review,
She was upset that she came into a dog park, basically.
her review was lengthy. It was lengthy, and even towards the end, she's like, I'm gonna come again once or twice. Ma'am, You took issue with the fact that dogs share water bowls. You took issue with the fact that you saw one pile of dog poop. Took issue with the fact that there's no fans on the ground for the dogs.
But there are.
There are.
That was my favorite part.
If you feel like you genuinely have good feedback on things that could change, like there's emails, there's phone numbers, like there's a way for you to get in touch with the general manager or potentially even the owner and provide that feedback. Or if you're going to leave a bad review, just, like make it make sense of like, hey, this was my experience and I think this could have been a little better. I think this could have been done differently. But I will say, I have gotten a lot of compliments on the way that I have responded to the bad reviews. Unprompted response or feedback on the way that I responded to reviews. And I've had a couple of people say, I wanted to come just because I saw the way you responded to the review. And I'm like, thank you. I'm trying to professionally clap back. I don't know if it's my personal favorite, but it's at least up there. And I think there's a number of customers, probably yours as well, favorite 1-star review. I was called a hostile ginger.
Oh, yes. Hostile ginger was. I think we used that phrase for the next several months.
It was, yeah.
I was met by a hostile ginger.
Apparently saying, hey guys, how are you? Have you been here before? Is hostile. Well, to be fair, actually, I don't think that's what they felt was hostile. What they felt was hostile was me pointing out that their dog was not fixed.
Big old dangly ones.
There was no mistaking. Those things are full back there. And they didn't like that.
All right.
Anyways, stood on business.
Standing on business. Leslie, it's time to spill the tea. And today is not tea per se. It's more about understanding that you don't always know what's going on in someone's life when they come through that gate. We're going to talk about a recent experience with a customer where he came in and he just seemed a little cranky. Didn't really seem like he wanted to be here. And so give our distance, you give them some time to acclimate and you just make sure their dog's having a great time. And from there, things changed eventually.
Yeah. So this gentleman, now we know he is just the sweetest, warmest, funniest guy. But his first time here, he had been looking for a dog park, Googled it, found us, and he does not live super close. He doesn't live super far, but he decided to give us a try. He was dogging on our beer selection. Legit, dogging on our beer selection. It's a lot of local craft stuff. We try to, as we're a local small business, we try to support other local small businesses. So let him do his thing. Made some recommendations on beer. He tried one. It was all, he didn't seem to hate it, at least. Flash forward an hour, and one of our regulars who's been coming since the very beginning, they struck up a conversation, and an hour after he got here, he was laughing, he was smiling. Like, turns out he and that regular member worked for the same company. Yeah, I don't remember if I told you that.
No.
They work for the same company. Like, he just, an hour in, we were like, oh, this is such a cool thing. Like, because you can just, from start to even just an hour into his visit, everything changed. He opened up. He's like, okay, I love this place. And I think he stayed for at least 2 to 3 hours total. And by the end of it, he just loved this place so much and was having such a good time that he, kind of at other bars, you might buy a round of shots for everybody. He bought a round of pup cups for all the dogs in the dog park. He was so happy and so elated.
Have we ever had a customer buy a round of pup cups for the whole park?
No, he is the first. And that's not the only time he's done it either. It's so cute. I wish sometimes that we had a reality TV show to show these kinds of stories and these kinds of moments. Everybody's got so much on their plate. Everybody's got so much going on that can really weigh on you. And to be able to find a place that you can live in the moment and love unconditionally, just like that's our mission as a company, is to think and love like dogs. And that's what happened for him. And he found his community. He's been coming back every single day since that first day. And that, I will say, was like a little little light on the map of 2026 so far of just seeing someone who is brand new to the city and finds community in his third place so quickly.
And that's the tea.
Dear dog park, tell me something, please.
In today's Dear Dog Park, we were asked this question of, when do I know when to call it quits because of the heat? How can I tell my dog is overheating? And the Texas sun is no joke, and it's hot. And it's really important that we take that into consideration with dogs because they don't cool the same way we do. Tell me some of the ways that we can tell a dog is overheating.
So there's a number of different ways that we can tell. And before I get into that, Heather, you did mention, dogs do cool down differently than we do. Also, you have to remember, dogs can't communicate the way that we would communicate. I myself know when I'm getting too hot. Usually it's if I'm getting cranky or wiping sweat constantly. Heather, if you're getting too hot, you're going to let me know. Like, we can communicate in a very easy way when we're getting too hot. Dogs just communicate in a different way. So it's important that you pay attention to what they're saying without saying it. So if you see excessive panting, if you see really thick drool, if you see dogs digging holes, they're trying to get down to the cooler dirt underneath the top level. That will help cool them down. If you see them digging in water bowls or a pool, there is actually glands in their paws that, if there's something cool that makes contact with those glands, helps cool them down. Kind of like how humans on the back of our neck, if you put a cool compress or something back there, that helps us regulate our temperature back down in a gradual way. For them, that's not the only way, but glands in their paws do actually help them. So the more that they put their paws in cool water, that's actually helping to regulate their temperature and bring that back down. Now, if you see that, that means they're hot. If they are also digging water, we call it digging because that's exactly what it looks like. Whether it's in a bowl or a pool, that's also them trying to cool off their belly, because again, that's another way to help regulate their temperature. So if cool water is reaching their belly, again, that means that they are trying to cool themselves down. If you happen to see an excessive amount, not just drool, but like foamy drool, that
And red
would
gums, right?
And yeah, bright red gums. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah. So if you see any of those things, that means they're getting too hot. Now, if you see the foamy drool, that means it's time to go. And we would so much rather see you guys leave early, or a little bit earlier than you might normally, to make sure that the dogs are happy, but also safe.
Your dog doesn't care that they only came for 15 minutes. They're just really happy that they came. So go ahead and call it a day. And if you can, earlier and later in the day with this Texas heat, it's the smartest thing to do. Don't forget about, not that we have pavement here, but if you have pavement around where you live, that pavement can stay real hot even once the temperatures are down because it's retained that heat from the sun. So I always put my paw down.
Our paws.
I put my paw down just to double check a lot of the times before I walk my dog on a sidewalk. I try to keep him off the asphalt. I feel like that even gets even hotter. So lastly, if your dog does start to overheat, a couple of the things you need to do to take care of him. The number one thing we always say is offer them cool water, not ice cold.
No.
And why is that?
Because we don't want them to go into shock. So if they, and it's the same premise for humans as well. Like if you are, like in the process of heat exhaustion or overheating, you don't want to shock your system from going up here at whatever, like just too high temperature, down here, that's how you get shocked. So what you want to do is gradually bring their temperature back down. Obviously, as dog parents, we want to fix it right away, but you could end up doing a little bit more harm than good if you try to switch between too hot to too cold too fast. So again, cool water is good. You want to get them an AC before giving them cool water, ideally.
Yeah.
And before they drink the cool water, if they are actually overheating, again, start to bring that temperature down gradually with the AC, and then they get the cool water, and then you just have this little elevator kind of thing, like a slow elevator of bringing that temperature back down.
So again, you can cool them with their paws, their bellies, their necks. Those are good places to maybe add like a nice cooling towel. So at the end of the day, if your dog is extremely lethargic, unresponsive, vomiting, go ahead and go to the emergency vet. Better safe than sorry in those sorts of situations. But
And those
honestly,
would be the extreme, like
Extreme.
there's certain like lower level signs. Hey, maybe it's time to call it. But what you said, 100% is
don't-
like,
don't overdo it. And if you do, that's where you're going. So to protect your dog, let's just call it a day early. And that's our answer on how to keep your dog safe in this Texas heat.
Thanks for listening again to us on the Watering Bowl podcast, Going Off Leash. We appreciate you listening to us. And if you really liked what you heard,
If you laughed a little, you found yourself nodding along, if you learned anything, we would really appreciate a review. Or feel free to share this with your fellow dog lovers. Click subscribe, any of the ways. We'd appreciate you.
spread the word. And if you're around here locally, make sure you're coming out this Saturday to Christmas in July. We'll have some fun dog vendors. Summer Santa Claus will be here. I mean, who doesn't need another picture of their dog with a Santa Claus, this time in shorts?
In shorts, yeah. In shorts and a tank top, because summer Christmas.
So check us out on Instagram for all the details about that and about all of our fun events that we have here at the dog park. And yeah, till next time,
See you next time.
Merry Christmas.
And
Cheers.
fly. Cheers.
Thank you.
Going Off Leash is hosted by Leslie Patrow and me, Heather Spearman. Music provided by James Hearn, aka Dolly's dad. Be sure to follow along with us on all the socials at The Watering Bowl ATX. Thanks for listening. Hope you are enjoying Marsha's favorite day ever. See you soon.